As you guys know, I kind of stole the concept of quarterly goals from the authortube/booktube community, so a huge thank you to that whole group for creating this kind of video to begin with. I personally have found that these videos help boost my own productivity, even if I'm not like 100% onto those goals, so you'll kind of see what I'm talking about in this video. I didn't really do so well with my goals, but I'm still calling like at least the concept of creating quarterly goals a success, because I think that a lot of the goals I set out I wouldn't have even attempted if it weren't for this creation of this style of video. So without any more tangents, onto the actual video. I've got like my face over here and my goals list over here, so if you see me like looking down at this thing, it's because I've got my computer screen right beneath the camera and my light above that. So yeah, everything's kind of just on my desk here, but if you see me looking down, that's why. Alright, so a big header for my goals was to start learning about game development, and I think I did this pretty well. I did select a game engine. I'm using Godot game engine, which just released in its 3.0 version, and I'm super excited to use it. I've actually really enjoyed using it so far. I've created this little platformer, sort of proof of concept with one of my villain characters as the main character, because I hadn't made a model for the main character yet, but now I've actually got everything working with the main character. I just need to figure out how to do texturing, and the list goes on and on and on and on. But I have selected a game engine and I'm using Godot, that's the point. Select an art style and begin learning that art style. So I did select 3D modeling in the low poly style, just because it's easier and quicker for me to learn while I'm still able to sort of get my point across, because I'm definitely not an expert 3D modeler, but I am enjoying creating the low poly models for my characters so far, so that's kind of what I'm working with. I also wanted to learn to use Blender more in depth. I kind of did this with the help of Warrior Giant. Again, his channel will be in the description. He does a bunch of cool stuff with Blender and Splunky and various other things, but I definitely didn't really learn Blender to the extent that I had intended to when I created this goal, so kind of a success, kind of not, but I definitely know more about the programming now than I did at the beginning of this quarter. I also wanted to make 4 songs for the game using Rhythmic Studio or some other program. I just flat out didn't do this. I think I made like 2 songs, accidentally deleted one of them, and then I tried making a bunch more, but never really got past like the beginning-ish, and then I didn't really like that either, so no, I definitely did not make 4 more songs for the game, unfortunately. So big X through that goal. At least I tried making music though. I don't think I would have attempted it at all had it not been for the creation of a quarterly goals video. I also wanted to begin world building or creating a bunch of articles on some service about characters, events, places, history, whatever, that existed in my world. And I definitely nailed this one. I wrote a bunch of stuff down for my world. I acted out a bunch of it outside with the walking stick, and I'm really happy with how that goal turned out for sure. I definitely learned a lot about the people in my world, the creation of that world, and how it sort of got to where it needs to be. There's definitely still a lot of development that needs to go into my world building, but it was definitely a good start with this quarter. I also wanted to get Mochila, which is my backpack web app, to a working condition, and the goals that I set out to do that were to complete the course selection screen and start working on some sort of assignments screen. I completed the course selection screen. I actually did that. I really didn't want to be honest, so again, I wouldn't have done it if it weren't for the creation of the goals that I made. But aside from doing very minimal planning, I haven't really done anything for the assignments screen or the assignment creation selection, whatever you want to call it, so definitely still need to do some work there. However, I have decided to set that project aside for now, if not drop it entirely. I am sort of allowing myself to drop it entirely if I want to. I might pick it up again over the summer, depending on whether I feel like I will need it in college, but for now I'm sort of putting a hold on that project because I haven't really been using it for school and it needs a lot of work before it gets to the phase where I can. I also wanted to select a college and maintain my grades. I did both of these things. Actually, in the beginning of the quarter, I was really struggling a little bit with my grades, but I did get everything back up at the end of the quarter, so I did that, yes. I didn't really think that I was going to be able to select a college, but I totally did, and I actually made a video about how I made that decision. So again, there will be like a little card up here or something if you want to watch that video. It's pretty heavily scripted video, so I don't really seem very natural in that video because it was really scripted, but I hope you enjoy it anyway. Another one of my goals was to learn to edit my videos in Blender instead of Windows Movie Maker. I started to do this and kind of learned about the process, but because Blender is pretty complicated for me to learn and use, I actually started using Shotcut, which is an open source video editor that I've been really happy with so far. It's powerful enough for my needs, and I don't really need to use Blender for the entirety of the video production process. However, I am considering using Blender in the future for post-production if I need to. Another of my goals was to publish one video every other Sunday to YouTube. I did that. However, I also wanted to upload one song to YouTube every Sunday that I was not publishing a regular video, and I definitely did not do that. I actually did that for 2 of the Sundays before sort of becoming uncomfortable with it. I ended up actually taking down the ones that I posted, so you won't even be able to find them anymore. It just didn't feel right to me. I also noticed that all the songs that I was making sounded sort of the same, and I didn't really like that either. So that was definitely a bust and a failed goal. The last goal that I set for myself was to apply for 6 essay scholarships, and I definitely did not do that. I actually applied for 4 essay scholarships, and I have another one in the works. I did not end up meeting that goal. So that's all for the goals that I created from January to March. I don't really think it was super successful overall. I didn't really accomplish everything that I wanted to accomplish, but I do think that the concept of creating goals and trying to stick to them as much as possible was a success, because a lot of those things I wouldn't have done had it not been for the goals video. So I'm gonna keep doing it for now and see how it works, and hopefully try to stick more closely to my goals in this quarter. So yeah, here are my goals for the April to June quarter. I want to experiment with at least 5 specific leitmotifs for characters, places, and events in my game. I've done some research about leitmotifs and how they are used in music, and I think that it's a little bit easier to tackle creation of a bunch of leitmotifs and develop them into songs than just tackle an entire song at once, which is what I tried to do last quarter. So I'm hoping that this goal will be a little bit easier to manage than the one I created last quarter. I also want to create 5 more entries into my world building guide kind of thing for the game that I'm making. I'm actually really looking forward to completing this goal. I need to get my college housing situation figured out, because honestly, college housing has been kind of confusing for me. I've been on multiple phone calls and sent a bunch of emails, and I really can't figure out how the housing system works, so I want to try to figure that out in this quarter, and I'd better figure it out in this quarter because I will actually have to submit an application in May, so cross your fingers. I finally have a driver's license after failing the test once and having a bunch of stress about it, but I finally have it. So now my goal relating to that is that I want to start driving more, maybe longer distances. Maybe I can start driving to school, figure something like that out. I also said that I wanted to visit at least 3 natural areas like parks, reserves, or any other place where I can kind of chill out and record some nice, relaxing footage. And I put in question mark here, maybe I can drive there as well and get some extra practice in. So I'm really hoping that that will be a relaxing and educational experience for me. I've put again that I want to maintain my grades in this last quarter of high school, which is crazy. Again, publish 1 YouTube video every other Sunday. I also want to start uploading and publishing at least 3 videos on random Thursdays during this quarter, just to see how they do and hopefully get a little bit more activity on my channel, because I don't really think that every other week is often enough. I actually really enjoy making videos. It's just that I'm not really sure that I'd have time to commit to every single week though at this point, so I just want to kind of try to pick some Thursdays and upload videos then, and we'll see how that goes. I have closed captions on most of my videos right now, but not all of them, and I would like to add them to the rest that I don't have. Sorry guys, my camera battery died, but I am back now. So I won't be captioning that 40-minute live stream that I did, but every other video should see captions by the end of this quarter. I also set a goal of creating a uniform thumbnail style and sticking to that for all of my future videos. I have created that thumbnail style already, and I've started applying it to my videos, but I want to finish it, apply it to the rest of the videos, and hopefully all my future videos will have that thumbnail style. I have a really cool planner that I got for my birthday, and I haven't really been using it as much as I want to, so another one of my goals is to use the planner at least once per day. I'm hoping that will allow me to create a plan for each of my days and hopefully have it be a little bit less chaotic, especially during the school week. My very last goal is to study. I have a terrible habit of studying at the very last minute for exams, and it's worked pretty well for me in the past, actually. It's been, of course, very stressful, but it works. However, I am very done with the stress, and I have a ton of exams this year. So I'm hoping that I can alleviate some of the stress related to taking exams by studying for 45 minutes per subject per week. I'm hoping that this will both be very useful in review and alleviate some of the stress that might be associated with exam taking. Alright guys, that's all the goals I have set out for this video and for this quarter. We'll see how I did with them in the next quarterly goals video that I upload in 3 months. My favorite song for this video is I'll Be Good by James Young. I've actually been binge listening to James Young's album called Feel Something lately, and it's definitely making me feel something. It's a very emotional album, and I highly recommend it. So there will be a clip of I'll Be Good at the end of this video, a link to it on Spotify in the description, and the song will make an appearance in my Songs from Blank Earth playlist, which you can also find in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way until the end, and I will see you in the next one. Alright, bye guys.
To make you bleed, I'll be a better man today. I'll be good, and I'll love the world like I should.